love your stuff.
Oh, thank you so
Yes,
much.
I know. An outspoken millennial who knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rarity. It's kind of like the half-life of uranium. You know, it's you guys are too few of you, and not radiating enough. So.
Well, thank you so much, and I would like to say thank you to my sources because that's really, they're great sources. So, Tony,
Yes.
how do you think the Democrats' coup is going?
Well, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 2 because I think most of it's coming back on them. And what's notable, while there's not been many major arrests, what I think President Trump's been successful in doing, and I'm speaking as a think tank guy too, on the policy side, every time they try something, it actually is like a slingshot, it comes back on them. So I know it's been tough to watch this for the past 3 years and be patient, but I think the more they do, the more they self-identify of who they are, which I think in the end will make it easier for the American public to understand the scope of the deep state and understand that they need to come out and vote to support the president in the upcoming elections.
Well, I think Trump's going to be very strong in 2020. Obviously, we need an opponent before I can tell you exactly my prediction. Fundamentally, I think, they tried with Mueller, they tried with impeachment. I fully expect that they'll try more shenanigans before this is all said and done, but I'm a firm believer in the president and do everything I can to help him get reelected.
Hi, Doug Collins. Thank you so much for your service to the country.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be here.
Yes, so what do you think the chances of Trump winning in 2020 are?
I think the chances get better every day because I think when they look at the clown car that's at the Democratic group right now, and really when all you're doing is promising free stuff without any real solutions and doing that, and what he's done is actually brought our country back, done the things that he's done, it's getting better every day.
And if anyone was going to campaign on a different platform, like being pro-socialist, like the Bernie Sanders, I don't think they're going to win. Even the moderate Democrats, they just don't buy off on that nonsense. Our economy is doing so well right now. It would be absurd to think that, we should we'll just tank the economy and just switch over. We'll give it a shot.
I mean, that wasn't a Democratic debate. That was a demolition derby. Really. I grew up in a small town. Every year we'd have a county fair. The people with the crummiest cars in town would drive them into the infield. And they'd crash into each other until only one was left driving. I mean, think about it. Now you got these Democrats with the crummiest ideas in politics. They're all smashing into each other, and eventually there'll be one left driving. But I think we all know how this is going to end. There's going to be a monster truck with a big T on the hood. He's been trying to figure out who won these debates. Now, let me help him out. President Donald Trump won the Democrat debates in a knockout. Hands down, no contest, lights out.
Mr. President, it's so nice to see you here at CPAC today. Wow, it looks like you're doing a good job on jobs, President Trump. What would you say the trajectory is for the country? Is it good or bad? Show us by a thumbs up if it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen of CPAC 2020, President Donald Trump, I can tell you, is the real deal. He's a man who says what he means and means what he says. He never quits. He never backs down. He's never stopped fighting to keep the promises that he made to all of you. And now it's our turn to fight for him. It's on.
We hear a lot about socialism during CPAC. Do you think that there's a real threat of socialism in this country?
I do. I think if you look at where the Democrat Party has drifted, I think their heart and soul ends up being in that area. But if you talk to anybody that's left a socialist country or a communist country, they don't want to go back, and they certainly don't want to go back to that system.
Do you believe that socialism is a real threat in America?
Absolutely. So I just came from meetings with some experts on this issue. I have a degree in political science. I'm going to be talking about my age now. I graduated in '86 with a political science degree. And one of the notable features of that period is that the schools were still more or less kind of objective. and the dangers of communism and socialism. And let's be clear what socialism is. The Soviet Union was a socialist republic. Communism is the derivative of socialism. And as we've seen that in Cuba, we've seen that in Venezuela. The other thing that people tend to forget, and I always get in trouble for saying this, but it's true, the Nazis were socialists. I'm sorry, it's true. It's in the name.
People don't really understand what socialism is. They don't understand that Venezuela is socialist. They don't understand that, you could say North Korea is communist. This is basically the same thing. It's like there's not really a big difference between socialism. Socialism is, where they believe that the community, which means the government actually, should control the production, sales, and exchange of goods and services and money. And the more power you give to the government, absolute power corrupts absolutely. People should know this, and they just don't understand the real world. They just don't understand reality, and they've been lied to.
Yeah.
Do you think it's becoming more of a threat because more and more young people are buying into it?
I think that a lot of the college professors and stuff, they want to try and teach that, and high school people, they're trying to sort of slide that into their little teaching plans. But I don't think it's a threat, because I think once you actually put some sunshine on it and let everyone see what it really is, if you look at Venezuela and all these other terrible countries that have like a socialist sort of a view, and they tax everyone at 80%, and money is useless in Venezuela right now, for example. They've tanked the economy so bad, they have stacks of cash just thrown on the sides of the street. It's completely worthless. You can burn it for, kindling in your fireplace, and it's worth more. So.
Yeah.
Democrats have been overtaken by a leftist ideology, and far too many young people have rallied to their cause. So men and women of CPAC, we've got work to do. The truth is, it won't be enough just to win the next election. We've got to win the next generation. We must renew our resolve in this year, 2020. As the President said 1 year ago, America will never be a socialist country.
I feel like as a conservative on campus, your voice has kind of been silenced because we've seen instances where, other liberals and people will shout you down or chase you down. Like we've seen these videos on the internet.
Yeah, I actually do. My campus, we had like an event hosting Sargon of Akkad, and there were actually liberals trying to shut my chapter down. So yeah, I actually do see that around. I do feel like they're trying to shut you down once you speak out about different viewpoints, and that has happened. They even went up to the student government, the part where they fund for student activities, and they asked them to shut us down. So yeah.
So I was a drama major at NYU, which was interesting, the most left of left. And I was actually the chapter president for Turning Point USA at NYU. My freshman year was fall of 2016, and I openly supported the president. But beyond that, I was also open about supporting conservative values within the drama school, which was extremely dangerous, but it was important to me because you cannot create art in a safe space. You can only create art in a brave space. It's about interrogating the truth and challenging the status quo, and you can't do that if you're so scared of offending people. And so for a very long time I was ostracized, and even to the point where the professors, these liberal professors, were starting to defend me and at least stand up for me and support me, because the ostracization that I faced from my fellow classmates, I think, was just so extreme. They really were so scared of hearing an alternative view, especially because I'm a woman of color. So the fact that I'm a Trump supporter really threatens the way that they view the world on a fundamental level.
Yeah, there's definitely a threat of socialism. You see the AOCs, the Bernie bros rising up, and it's not, some would say it's not full socialism, but I've known to come out as full-on communist. So I see this as a huge threat. That's why, as Turning Point president at Penn State, we've been fighting back against it. I'm even starting a new club at Penn State called Uncensored America to fight for free speech, because these people, not just about taking money, it's also about taking away your speech. So we have to fight back, or else nobody else is going to do it.
So you've experienced firsthand people trying to silence your voice as a conservative on college campus?
Oh yeah, big time. When we were bringing Sargon of Akkad and Hunter Avalon last semester, they wanted the college Democrats wanted to basically de-charter our club on campus, which means it won't be funded. And the only way for that to happen is if it actually gets banned and shut down. So they really want to shut down our Turning Point chapter just for hosting somebody that's a liberal. Like, I'm not making it up. Like, these people are insane, and it's just getting worse. And there are even some people on the right that are, they don't want certain viewpoints to be heard. They're a little bit touchy on certain things. So that's why I think free speech is more important now than ever.
I mean, I went to a private university. It was very small, like a high school, and I mean, word traveled fast. And I just started wearing Trump stuff and being very proud of it and being unapologetically American, because that's the only way you can do it, really. And I noticed my grades just started to decline. Like, they would just start, the stuff that was subjective, like writing and just like short answer things, I would get lower grades on. And I was silenced all the time. I wasn't allowed to write in the school newspaper. We had safe spaces, and I tried to go into one of the offices just because I was trying to meet the teacher for office hours, and they said I wasn't allowed in because it was a safe space, and the mere presence of me being there would trigger somebody. And I was like, I'm not even in Trump stuff. I'm just trying to do office hours. So yeah, I had a lot of that.
Oh, hi Phoenix, I'm Millie. So I see you do interviews, you do man on the street interviews. What made you decide to get started in that direction with reporting?
In 2016, I like watching the debates, and I went with my dad to go. We got an RV, and we were supposed to travel for a month, and obviously it hasn't been a month.
Exactly. Are you concerned at all about how we've heard many people come out wanting to attack free speech? Because free speech is critical to being a journalist and a reporter. And if we don't have free speech, well, we can't really be journalists. We can't tell the truth without fear of being put in prison. So what do you think about how some people are saying, hate speech should be policed, speech should be policed?
Well, that's hard when it comes to hate speech and free speech. Because I guess you could say, well, people shouldn't be able to have hate speech because, well, I guess you could say it's mean. But at the same time, if you're in America, you kind of have the right to say it. Now, if you're using violence, no, you can't. You shouldn't use violence. I don't think you should encourage violence. But hate speech it's hard because it goes off your opinion. One person may think it's a loving speech, one person may think it's evil. So I think as Americans we should have, we have First Amendment right.
We like to go to a place called Sanibel Island. We were sitting on the beach, we were wearing our ball caps, sunglasses, we were reading some books. These two big boys came walking by me, wearing Budweiser shirts. I think they'd heard in the local paper that we were on the island. This one fellow stopped and looked at me and he said, "Hey, you're Pence." I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And then he leaned over and he said to me, "Hey, you got to tell the president to keep doing what he's doing, because I made twice as much money last year as I made the year before." And I told him I would. And he started to walk away and turned around and said, "By the way, I don't know what you do, but keep doing what you're doing too." I told him I would. All of you here. Every day between now and November 3rd. We're going to keep on winning. We're going to make America stronger and prosperous than ever before. And with President Donald Trump in the White House for 4 more years, and with God's help, we will keep America great. Thank you very much.
Remember, I'm listener supported, so please go to InfoWarsStore.com to support my work. Take advantage of some of the great deals and the great products we have available so you can both help take care of your own health and help us fight the info war. You can also go to Millie Weaver on Subscribestar to support me directly if you choose to. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to give you my next video.
When it comes to rebuilding your energy, convenience is key. While coffee, candy, and other sugary products can give you a short boost, the crash can leave you more tired than ever. Turbo Force from InfoWars Life is a powerful mix-in energy packet that utilizes vitamins, amino acids, and extracts used for hundreds of years to provide you focus, clarity, and a boost of energy on the go. Simply take a packet, mix it into the indicated amount of water, and enjoy. With 14 servings per box for a 2-week or more supply, this is the formula to stock up on whenever you need a boost. Perfect for work, in the car, or at home. Turbo Force is the ultimate answer to a sluggish day. Don't let your day slow you down. Perk up with Turbo Force at InfoWarsStore.com